Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and we're here in Rotorua, New Zealand. It's the day before the 2017 Tarawera Ultramarathon. I'm with the USA's Jim Walmsley. I had to wait a really long time to interview you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you think you were going to be this popular in the South Pacific?
Gotten a few messages, so I don't know, it's all new and changing and whatever, gotta embrace it.
Yeah, I think you're the subject of about 92 selfies that are going to be on Facebook in about 12 seconds.
Yeah, I don't have to post many pictures because they already get posted.
People do it for you.
Yeah.
All right, so there is a ton of speculation about you at this race, and I just want you to lay it out. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to run? What kind of pace are we going to see for you tomorrow?
I think it's going to be an honest pace. I think that's what I can guarantee. Other than that, you kind of got to feel out how the other runners are going to react to what you do, and also feel out comparison-wise where everybody's fitness is and see where you can possibly exploit it. Because you're racing a lot of people that I don't know as much about. So it's just you kind of got to feel out the field a little bit. But to do that, I think you need it a little honest. And ideally, I'd like to string people out.
That would be good for you.
Yep. If I can break up everybody, that would be great. And then, but overall, fast.
Do you legitimately think that whatever pace you go out on, other people are going to go with you? Because I've heard a lot of people say, we're just going to let it go.
And I'm okay with that too, that's fine. I mean, with training and my own training blocks I've put in and how those have gone, and then my feedback off of that, I still run within my own comfort zone. So, and I have nutrition plan for this, which I don't make or hadn't made up until probably even middle of last year. I started kind of doing nutrition plans for stuff in your body. And actually planning out what I'm going to grab and where, not just winging it as much. And so I got that all dialed for the race, and generally that works out to being a lot more, there's no bonk as long as you're eating what you're supposed to eat. I don't plan on coming back. If I go to the front, I always think it's, if you go to the front, do something with the front and be ready to run to the finish line. If you go to the front and you're making too big of a move, then you're not doing it right. I think if you're doing it right and you're doing it how you want to race, you should be able to run pretty fluid all the way to the finish line. So if that's 2 miles in, that's 2 miles in, keep a sustainable pace. If that's 30, 40 miles in, then that's okay too. But when you go and you decide to start clicking your own splits, they need to be maintainable.
You ran part of the course yesterday, I think from about kilometer 22 to 40?
Yeah, it's about right. Something like that.
Can you give us a synthesis of what you think of what you saw?
It's a bit of up and down. I didn't see many rocks on the island yet. It's pretty smooth, but you can kind of see where water's kind of rutted out some of the course, so that would be the most technical aspect of it. But for the most part, it's runnable. There weren't any climbs that were steep. They're all very runnable. So yeah, you just kind of got to average it out, and it's all effort based.
The island of New Zealand. Is this your second time racing trail ultra races abroad?
Second time doing trails.
Okay.
Third time doing an ultra.
Because you went to the race in China too, didn't you? Yeah. What do you think of the whole international racing extravaganza that comes along with something like this?
This one's probably a bit bigger, being part of Ultra Trail World Tour. There's more fan runners and people traveling to this race, especially being a destination race for New Zealand. But it's fun. It worries me in the fact of nutrition. In the States, I feel very in control of how I can plan crewing and everything. Here, at least, everybody speaks English, or I think English sometimes. Yeah, I think I've got nutrition dialed to where it feels like I have it set up how I want it to be.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm hungry and I keep eating, it should go good, and I should be able to run a really consistent, fast race. And fast, it's all comparative. When I'm out there, I don't feel like it's fast or I'm pushing, but comparatively it's fast,
Yeah.
but it's still comfortable to me.
I've been watching people watch you this morning, and you seem really popular with the South Pacific, Southeast Asia crowd. I think you're probably going to feel a lot of that when you're out on the course tomorrow, like from fans, and also as you pass the 62K race, you're going to be making your way through.
Yeah.
Like, does that boost you? Are you going to be tuning that out because you're going to be so focused on what's going on? Like, where's that going to take you?
I try to follow my own stuff. If they catch me in the middle of a climb, I probably won't say much. And on descents, if it's a steep descent, it's like I gotta watch my own footwork. But yeah, I'm out there. I'm a fan of the sport too. I like saying hi. It's entertaining for the race. I mean, you're still out there for 7 hours, so yeah, it's nice to see people and to be able to say hi. Otherwise, it's a lonely day.
The last we saw you race was the JFK 50 at the end of November, and then you tried to turn it around to race TNF 50, but that didn't quite work out. A lot of people who will watch this will be followers of you on Strava, so they've seen your training in numbers. But can you talk about a little bit about what you've been doing the last couple months training-wise and bouncing back after JFK?
So for JFK, I got in a good solid maybe 4 or 5 weeks after straight after the Grand Canyon, which was completely.
Ow!
Ants.
Something just bit my foot.
I think it's an ant. They do have some things that bite in New Zealand.
You went to the Grand Canyon. Ow!
Well, there was a Grand Canyon. They're still on your foot. But so I tried to turn things around from the Grand Canyon really quick, only because I wanted to be ready for JFK this year. And it was completely miserable.
Which part was miserable?
Going straight back into training. Yeah, because it was just, I think I had like a half week down after the canyon, and then right up to like 120 weeks. So, and then about 5 weeks of that. And
miserable physically or
yeah,
mentally?
physically. Every day was really, really hard to get out the door for a run.
Okay.
For 2 weeks, and then I felt things kind of catch up, and then like another week of 120, or just like the confidence is there, and it's just like, all right, JFK is going to be fine. Like I feel the body turning around, but there's a total lag and total just mind over matter sort of thing of just you got to kick your butt out the door. And then JFK went awesome. I don't think I nailed it perfectly, but it was pretty close and pretty good, and I got in a lot of up-tempo runs to prepare for that, which I think transferred over really well. And then the plan was to go straight into just kind of recovery and bounce back for North Face, but I think I had some bursitis in my heel and my knee that I was really worried about, where if I were to try to race on it, it probably could have held up, but then it's just, where does that put me at for starting 2017? And I think it would have started me in too much of a hole. And then I realized even like the week of North Face, I start kind of planning backwards from Tarawera race date and just going like, oh, I need to start like kind of gradually building again, basically the week of North Face. So it's just, it just didn't fit well. My body wasn't ready, and it was just, I had to listen to it. I think it would have been a mistake. It could have worked out, but it might not have worked out. And then, I don't know, I think it's just a matter of time. I'll get to race those guys, and I'll get to race North Face. So it's about being a little more patient and just picking it a little more wisely.
It looked like from your training you were kind of trying to mix in like bulk volume and like long tempo efforts.
for this run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get into deciding not to do North Face, and then building up. And January was just a awesome month of training. Basically got in a 5-week block from 120 to 140, almost all single runs. And then the up-tempo runs were kind of, I think, doing a little bit of that before JFK. I started feeling it be more comfortable again for this training block.
Okay.
And I hope that continues of just, I'd like to get more sharper workouts in and more up-tempo stuff, because I think it's really an X factor in ultra running right now, is just, it just transfers to your efficiency in running on everything.
Are you doing,
yeah, it's
sorry.
been huge, but yeah, go ahead.
Are you doing anything faster than tempo effort at this point, like for stride maintenance or anything?
Yeah, I'll do like interval stuff. I think I did one track workout, 2-3 workouts for this.
Yeah.
I got on the indoor track in
Oh yeah?
in NAU, went in the Dome. It's just a great place to do a workout, especially when it's single digits outside and snow on the ground. So it went great. I mean, the fastest laps I was doing, I think I got down to 800s in 2:19.
Okay.
So a little bit, but I mean, track standards, I think the Bowerman Track Club was on the track at the same time, and they were doing 300s, and they were just darting past me. I'm just like,
see ya.
don't mind me, I'm just
Okay.
an ultra
I'm
runner
just the
here.
ultra
Yeah.
runner.
So, but then I ran, like, I'm the same age as Chris Derrick and Ryan Hill that were on the track too, and it's just like, yeah, in their world, it's like, hi, I'm Jim, like I'm that guy, and like I even like went on a recruiting trip with Chris Derrick, and I never expect him to remember who I am, but he's just a really smart guy, and yeah, he knows me a little bit, I guess, but it's always like that's me and my track world. I look up to a lot of those guys. So, but they were just totally darting past me, probably doing like 37-second 300s and looking just butter smooth, and it's just like, yeah, that's all right. Those legs aren't there anymore. Yeah.
I want to ask you one more training related question. It looks like you bounce around at different altitudes, being up in Flagstaff and then going down to lower altitude in Phoenix. Is there any attention to that? Are you following weather? Are you visiting family?
For January, it was mostly following weather and following routes. We've had a good amount of snow in Flagstaff. It hasn't been bitterly cold, but a good amount of snow. So even the Grand Canyon's fun to run this time of year because it's down at the bottom. It's still really nice. But then
Beautiful this time
we've been getting some of the other, we say Coconino Cowboys ready for Black Canyon. So big things coming from Tim Frericks and Cody Reed, especially Tim. Tim, my bet is he's going to get the course record at Black Canyon in a week or so. And then Cody is looking like he's rolling better since I left. He's doing good. But we all got a lot of mileage on the Black Canyon Trail. And then we got another guy, Mackay Clemens, that's hopefully going to do the 60K as well.
Awesome.
But run a bit with Cody, probably.
Awesome. So last question, back to this race again. Tomorrow you're going to race Jonas Bud, who is the defending Tarawera champion. And you've also seen him before. The two of you raced together at the 100Ks.
Jogged together, yeah.
Jogged together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he at all going to influence your race tomorrow? The fact that you've seen him run before, that you kind of know his style?
Well, I think he's patient. So that goes to, if I can get him running by himself, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really. I kind of expect him to not react to what I'm doing. He's just going to run his thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the same fitness, race, or anything I was in 2015. I've learned a lot in ultra running since then.
Yeah.
And I was coming off of a really big injury block off of that. So it was just apples and oranges. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck to you out there.
Thanks.
And we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, bonus question.
What's up?
Did you make a split chart yet?
I have a split chart, but it's not for necessarily my splits. It's so I like doing aid station to aid station sort of splits. It's similar to what I did for states, and I really like it. And JFK's is further splits, but it's more or less, it gives me a feedback of where I'm at, how much time I'm making up or losing. Generally, when things go well, I'm making up time. Yeah, I got a split chart. It's based off of Jonas Boud's last year race. I think that, looking at the history of the race, they changed the course a lot. So like Dylan and Sage's times I don't think are as relevant. I think some of the splits I could go look at and what they ran. But I'm racing Jonas, and I guess last year the weather wasn't as nice as this year, so it'll be faster for that reason. If he does well in the heat, and then but I expect to be well ahead of the splits I have. But it's a feedback for me for sure, and then it's also for my crew to. You need to expect to be somewhere in this ballpark, so that's important as well.
So Jonas's splits sped up then?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you ask him, he
he'll
knows
probably
he's
go.
gonna have to run faster than that for sure. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.